Have you ever truly paused, truly listened to that incessant, insidious whisper that tells you to settle, to doubt, to postpone your grandest aspirations? It is a pervasive current, an unseen force, subtle yet undeniably powerful, dragging you relentlessly away from the shores of your ultimate potential. Think for a moment, honestly. How many times have you been on the very cusp of a breakthrough, only to find your firmest resolve inexplicably eroded, your carefully nurtured courage inexplicably waning, replaced instead by a dull, creeping ache of resignation? This is not merely a fleeting emotion. It is a deep-seated, persistent inner conflict, a quiet, almost imperceptible sabotage that relentlessly gnaws at the very foundation of your ambition, your drive, your capacity for greatness. It is a question that demands your unwavering attention. Who or what whispers these limitations into the fertile ground of your mind? We are, from our earliest and most impressionable days, systematically funneled through elaborate institutions designed ostensibly to impart knowledge, to furnish us with a vast array of facts and figures, to meticulously prepare us for a world replete with careers and intricate societal roles. They dedicate years to instructing us in the complex elegance of mathematics, in the sweeping narratives of history, in the intricate and immutable laws of science. But I ask you with the utmost sincerity, demanding your deepest reflection, where, in all those countless hours and formative years, was the absolutely essential instruction on mastering the most formidable, the most potent instrument ever bestowed upon humankind, the human mind itself? Where were the vital, foundational lessons for identifying, for courageously confronting, and for decisively overcoming the insidious, silent saboteurs that tirelessly conspire to diminish your true potential, to systematically steal your inherent greatness, to prevent you from truly living out the magnificent destiny that awaits you? These are not trivial omissions. They represent a profound, indeed, a catastrophic oversight in our collective journey toward genuine self-actualization and unbridled success. For centuries, the most brilliant philosophers and incisive thinkers have grappled with the perplexing nature of human limitation, often pointing to external circumstances, to a cruel twist of fate, or to some inherent, unchangeable flaw within our very being. But what if the most formidable, the most unyielding barrier to your ultimate success, your profound happiness, your unencumbered freedom, exists not in the sprawling, unpredictable world outside you, but rather within the very sanctuary, the very private domain of your own thoughts? It was this profound, often unsettling, yet ultimately liberating realization that propelled me, Napoleon Hill, to embark on decades of relentless, meticulous research, an exhaustive inquiry into the true nature of success and failure, culminating in a truth so stark, so utterly potent, that its initial publication was met with deliberate, systematic suppression. In my definitive work, Outwitting the Devil, I laid bare a clandestine, uncomfortable reality. Your greatest adversary, the true architect of your unfulfilled dreams, is not some mythical external entity, some unavoidable stroke of bad luck, or the malevolent intent of another person. No, your most cunning, your most persistent foe resides deep within the intricate tapestry of your own mental landscape. This formidable adversary manifests not as a grotesque, horned beast, but as the collective sum of your most deeply ingrained fears, your crippling indecisions, your habitual patterns of procrastination, your subtle inclination towards apathy, and your unquestioning, often unexamined acceptance of conventional wisdom. These are the internal devils, the silent, invisible conspirators that subtly manipulate your every choice, cunningly steer your every impulse, and ultimately, undeniably, dictate the entire trajectory of your life's journey. They operate covertly, often disguised as prudent caution, as becoming humility, or even as impeccable logic, making their precise identification and confrontation incredibly difficult for the untrained, unsuspecting mind. They thrive in the shadows of self-doubt and the inertia of comfort. This very presentation, therefore, is not merely an exposition of these internal devils. It is a deliberate, urgent act of profound revelation, a clarion call to arms for the dormant power, the untapped genius that unquestionably lies within you. I am not simply sharing information. I am actively equipping you with powerful, time-tested strategies, psychological weapons meticulously forged in the crucible of countless human experiences, insights which our conventional institutions of learning regrettably fundamentally failed to impart. These are the essential tools, sharp and precise, for their complete, their unequivocal vanquishment. Prepare yourself now for a profound, deeply personal, and utterly transformative awakening. As we journey together through these illuminating insights, your current understanding of self-mastery, your previously held perceptions of your own limitations, and indeed your entire foundational outlook on life will be irrevocably altered, elevated, and expanded. This is not hyperbole. Nor is it a mere motivational platitude. It is an unwavering promise rooted in immutable, universal principles of success. The life you have passively known, the self-imposed boundaries you have unthinkingly accepted, are now poised for a radical, empowering transformation, awaiting only your conscious, deliberate decision to reclaim your innate, sovereign authority over your own mind. The time for passive acceptance is decisively over. The exhilarating era of deliberate, conscious creation, of shaping your own destiny, is about to begin. Listen closely. The veil of illusion must now be torn, for we are confronted not by a mythical beast of fire and brimstone, but by a far more insidious, far more prevalent entity, the archetype of the drifter. Understand, this is not a tangible foe you can imprison or slay with a sword. No, this devil I speak of, the adversary that subtly erodes the fabric of potential, is a state of mind, a deeply entrenched mental habit, which I, Napoleon Hill, identified as the primary gateway for all forms of self-sabotage. It is the insidious current that pulls one away from a definite purpose, leaving them adrift in a sea of aimless activity, perpetually reactive rather than proactively decisive. Consider the modern age, an era paradoxically overflowing with an abundance of choice, an unprecedented proliferation of paths, options, and information. We are told this is liberation, yet I observe a profound, unsettling truth. This very abundance often paralyzes us. The sheer volume of career paths, the infinite scroll of information, the ceaseless deluge of entertainment, all conspire to create a peculiar, almost hypnotic state of inaction, artfully disguised as freedom. How many times have you found yourself overwhelmed by the myriad possibilities, endlessly weighing pros and cons, only to make no concrete decision at all? This is the drifter's subtle triumph, the paradox of choice turning opportunity into inertia. We hover, we contemplate, we deliberate, but we fail to act decisively, to commit to a single, burning purpose. This is the first, most dangerous symptom of falling prey to this insidious mental state. Let us now dissect the very architecture of this modern drifter, to expose the 7 pillars upon which this self-defeating mindset is built, each a silent accomplice in your journey away from greatness. First, observe the curse of passive information. We live in an age of unprecedented access to knowledge, yet how much of it do you truly apply? We consume endlessly, scrolling through articles, watching countless videos, absorbing facts without the vital, transformative act of creation or implementation. We mistake consumption for learning and passive absorption for productive engagement. This becomes a gilded cage, where the illusion of knowing replaces the act of doing, leaving your inherent genius dormant, unexpressed, perpetually awaiting a catalyst that never arrives. Are you merely a sponge, or are you a sculptor of your own reality? Next, we confront the fear of social ridicule. More potent, I have observed, than the fear of outright failure is the primal dread of being judged, mocked, or misunderstood by your peers. This apprehension freezes initiative, stifles innovation, and compels you to remain safely within the confines of established norms, even when your soul screams for bold, audacious deviation. You cling to the comfort of conformity, sacrificing your unique vision on the altar of public opinion. Ask yourself sincerely, whose approval are you truly seeking? Is it your own or that of a fickle, often indifferent external world? The third pillar is the waiting for the perfect moment. This is procrastination wearing the sophisticated mask of prudence. You convince yourself that conditions are not yet ideal, that you require more resources, more time, more certainty before you can truly launch your grand endeavor. But I tell you, no moment is ever truly perfect. Life is an ever-shifting landscape. This waiting is merely a subtle delaying tactic, an ingenious invention of the mind to avoid the discomfort of immediate decisive action. The perfect moment, you must understand, is always now. Following this, we find the pursuit of external validation. Your inner compass, your inherent sense of worth, becomes alarmingly calibrated to the fluctuating opinions and fleeting praises of others. You allow your self-esteem, your sense of accomplishment, to be dictated by applause, by recognition, by metrics of popularity, rather than by the quiet, unwavering satisfaction of realizing your own internal standards of excellence. When the barometer of your success is external, you surrender your autonomy, becoming a puppet to the whims of the crowd, rather than the master of your own destiny. Then, there is the fragmentation of attention. In this hyper-connected world, the cost of multitasking and the ceaseless bombardment of digital distractions have become shockingly apparent. Your focus, once a laser-sharp instrument, is now fractured into countless slivers, incapable of sustained, deep engagement. You flit from task to task, from thought to thought, never truly immersing yourself in any single pursuit long enough to extract its profound potential. This scattered energy, this dissipated mental power, is a fertile ground for the drifter, preventing the accumulation of momentum essential for significant achievement. The sixth pillar is the refusal to confront reality. We instinctively shy away from discomfort, from the arduous process of self-analysis, from the sometimes brutal honesty required to face our own shortcomings, our missteps, our true responsibilities. We construct elaborate narratives, blame external circumstances, or simply retreat into convenient fictions rather than engage with the challenging truths that demand our immediate, courageous attention. This evasion, this avoidance of personal accountability is a cornerstone of the drifter's reign. And finally, at the very root of all these manifestations lies the absence of a burning, definite purpose. This is the prime mover, the foundational weakness upon which all other pillars are erected. Without a clear, unwavering, almost obsessive objective, your energy disperses, your efforts become diluted, and your entire existence becomes reactive rather than purposeful. You drift not because you choose to, but because you lack the powerful magnetic pull of a future you are absolutely committed to creating. Look deeply into your own experience. How many of these 7 pillars are subtly, perhaps unconsciously, propping up the current structure of your life? Are they the invisible yet profoundly restrictive walls that prevent you from surging forward, from unleashing the true, magnificent power that lies within? The first step toward freedom is always recognition. The very notion of drifting, which we just meticulously dissected, stems fundamentally from an absence. Not an absence of capability, but an absence of direction. This brings us then to your first truly indispensable secret weapon, a principle so powerful, so utterly transformative, that its mastery alone can set you irrevocably on the path to inevitable success. The master mind map. Understand this. Merely wanting something is a pleasant, often fleeting sensation. It is a whisper in the wind, easily dissipated by the slightest gust of adversity or doubt. This vague desire, however fervent it may feel, holds no true power, no inherent gravitational pull to manifest itself into reality. It is the very food upon which the archetype of the drifter thrives, keeping you perpetually in a state of wishing rather than achieving. No, what I speak of, what is absolutely essential, is far more profound. It is the cultivation of a definite chief aim. This is not simply a goal. It is a meticulously crafted, passionately embraced, and unyieldingly pursued objective, imbued with such clarity, such burning intensity, that it transforms from a mere aspiration into a healthy, driving obsession. It becomes the magnetic north of your existence, pulling every thought, every action, every resource into perfect alignment with its realization. Reflect upon this. What truly differentiates those who achieve extraordinary feats from those who merely dream of them? It is not superior intellect alone, nor is it an absence of obstacles. It is the unwavering, crystalline clarity of a central purpose, a singular dominant idea around which all other endeavors revolve. Without this definite aim, your efforts scatter like dandelion seeds in the wind, dissipating their energy without ever taking root. With it, however, you become a force of nature, an unstoppable current flowing towards an inevitable destination. So I urge you, right here, right now, as you internalize these words, what would you genuinely do? What audacious project would you undertake? What towering ambition would you pursue if failure were utterly impossible? If the very concept of defeat ceased to exist, and if your time on this earth were consciously recognized as a finite, precious resource? Do not merely ponder this question. Write it down. Let the ink on the page be a testament to your newfound resolve. This act of declaration of committing your aim to paper is the foundational step in drawing your master mind map. Now let us expand this concept to its full synergistic potential. Beyond the individual declaration of purpose lies the truly revolutionary power of the master mind. In our contemporary interconnected world, this is not merely a quaint notion of a small study group. No. It is the deliberate, strategic orchestration of diverse minds, both physically present and intellectually accessible, that coalesce around your definite chief aim, elevating its purpose and accelerating its manifestation beyond what any single individual could hope to achieve. Think of it not as gathering a few friends, but as constructing an intricate, powerful web of connections, each strand reinforcing the next, each contributing unique insights, resources, and perspectives. How then does one construct this formidable mastermind in the 21st century? It begins with conscious selection. Identify those whose knowledge, experience, or specialized skills complement your own, those who possess a similar burning desire for success, and crucially, those who resonate with the ethical framework of your definite chief aim. This can mean seeking out living mentors, individuals who have already achieved what you aspire to. It means cultivating relationships with collaborators whose strengths fill your weaknesses, creating a dynamic synergy that multiplies your effectiveness. But it extends further still. Your mastermind can, and indeed should, include the intellectual contributions of great minds from the past. Through their biographies, their philosophies, their published works, you can integrate their wisdom, their strategic thinking, their timeless principles directly into your own mental framework. Their insights become an invaluable part of your collective intelligence, guiding your decisions with the accumulated wisdom of ages. Crucially, as you draw this master mind map, you must also be prepared for a vital, often uncomfortable act of discernment: the elimination of energy drains. Just as certain connections amplify your purpose, others, by their very nature, deplete it. These are the individuals, the influences, the thought patterns that feed the drifter within you, sowing seeds of doubt, cynicism, or mediocrity. They act as anchors, weighing down your aspirations, distracting you from your chosen path. Protecting your master mind map, therefore, requires the ruthless, yet essential courage to identify and remove these detrimental influences from your immediate circle. Ask yourself, who in your current environment consistently undermines your belief, distracts your focus, or encourages complacency? Their removal is not an act of malice, but an act of profound self-preservation, a necessary defense of your most cherished ambitions. The benefits of constructing and actively engaging with your master mind map are manifold and profound. You will experience an unwavering focus, for your definite chief aim is constantly reinforced by the collective energy and insights of your chosen allies. You will witness an acceleration of results as obstacles that once seemed insurmountable yield to the combined intellectual and practical power of your group. You will gain access to insights, to resources, to opportunities that would remain forever beyond your grasp if you relied solely on your own limited perspectives. The mastermind, you see, creates a third invisible mind, a powerful synergy that far surpasses the sum of its individual parts. It is a crucible for creativity, a fortress against doubt, and a direct conduit to the universal intelligence that underpins all achievement. Therefore, let this powerful truth resonate within you. The trajectory, the very altitude of your purpose, is profoundly determined by the company you keep, by the minds you consciously invite into your sphere of influence. Evaluate your connections today not with judgment, but with the clear, unyielding gaze of someone determined to build an empire of their own making. Who will be on your master mind map? And more importantly, who needs to be strategically omitted to protect its integrity and power? The choice, as always, is yours. Having carefully laid the foundations of your deliberate purpose with the master mind map, charting the course with unwavering resolve, we now turn our attention to the most personal, most intimate battleground of all, the sacred, untamed territory of your own mind. This brings us to your second secret weapon, an indispensable tool for triumph over the insidious forces of inaction and mediocrity, the garden of self-mastery. For make no mistake, your mind is precisely that, a garden. And just like any garden, if you do not actively, consciously, and diligently cultivate it, if you do not plant the seeds of positive thought, of productive habits, of unshakable faith, then automatically, inevitably, the weeds of doubt, the thorny vines of fear, the suffocating presence of procrastination, and the bitter roots of indecision will sprout, flourish, and ultimately choke out all potential for growth. This is the profound truth of self-control and the power of a positive mental attitude. It is not a passive wish. It is an active daily engagement in the precise art of mental horticulture, where you and you alone determine what will blossom and what will be mercilessly eradicated. In the spring of this mental garden, we must sow the seeds of what I term applied faith. This is not some abstract mystical belief, nor is it a blind adherence to dogma. My definition of faith is a state of mind, an unwavering conviction in the attainment of your definite chief aim, even in the absolute absence of any immediate, tangible evidence. It is the profound, unyielding belief in your own capacity to achieve, to create, to transform. Even when the path is obscured, even when the critics scoff, even when the world around you whispers impossibility. This applied faith is the fertile ground from which all future achievements will spring. It is the conscious, deliberate act of impressing upon your subconscious mind the absolute certainty of your success, transforming a mere hope into an internal, burning reality. Without this foundational planting, your garden remains barren, vulnerable to every passing storm of negativity. As the sun of effort ascends, we enter the summer season of your mental garden, a period dedicated to the relentless cultivation of persistence. This is the stage where the daily act of watering, of nurturing, of consistent, unwavering effort transforms nascent seeds into resilient plants. It is the unwavering commitment to continue even when the visible results are scant, even when the rewards seem distant, even when fatigue threatens to overwhelm your spirit. This is where the archetype of the drifter, the devil we spoke of, will launch its most cunning assaults, tempting you with the allure of ease, whispering rationalizations for abandonment, or simply making the path appear far too arduous. Your persistence is the daily act of defending your sprouts, of protecting their delicate growth against the scorching heat of adversity and the chilling winds of discouragement. It is the stubborn refusal to surrender, the unwavering commitment to your definite chief aim, even when the immediate gratification is absent. This sustained effort, this unyielding momentum, builds an inner fortress of strength that no external force can penetrate. Then comes the autumn, a season for vigorous, decisive pruning. This is the active, conscious exercise of identifying and ruthlessly eradicating the weeds of negative thought patterns, destructive habits, and limiting beliefs. This is where my technique of resisting negative suggestion becomes paramount. For just as physical weeds steal nutrients from your desired plants, negative suggestions, whether they originate from external sources, from the cynical voices around you, or from your own internal monologue of doubt and fear, will inevitably leach energy from your purpose. You must become the vigilant gardener, the uncompromising steward of your mental space, refusing entry to any thought, any influence, any habit that does not actively serve your definite chief aim. This pruning is not a punishment. It is a necessary act of liberation, clearing the path for the magnificent growth you are destined to achieve. It is the ultimate expression of self-discipline, a proactive defense of your mental sanctuary. Finally, we arrive at the winter, a period often misconstrued as dormancy, but which is, in fact, a vital season for profound reflection and renewal. This is not a time for despair or self-reproach over perceived setbacks. Instead, it is an opportunity to calmly, analytically evaluate your progress, to learn from every failure, which are merely lessons disguised in uncomfortable clothing, and to strengthen the very seeds of your purpose for the next cycle of growth. It is a time for introspection, for refining your strategies, for fortifying your mental resilience, understanding that every challenge overcome, every misstep corrected, adds to the profound wisdom that will guide your future endeavors. This deliberate period of assessment ensures that each successive spring brings forth a stronger, more vibrant manifestation of your vision. Now pause for a moment. Take 60 seconds. Close your eyes if you can, and visualize this garden of your mind. What does it contain? What beautiful flowers of ambition and achievement are you cultivating? And just as importantly, what parasitic weeds of doubt, fear, or limiting beliefs have been allowed to take root and spread unchecked? What needs to be uprooted immediately and without hesitation to allow your true essence to flourish? This simple exercise, performed with genuine intent, is a powerful act of conscious creation. Mastering this mental gardening cultivates an unshakable resilience, an enduring inner peace, an almost magnetic capacity to attract opportune circumstances, and ultimately, absolute sovereign control over your own emotional and psychological landscape. The devil, the drifter, thrives on mental neglect. Become the vigilant gardener, the sovereign steward of your own mind. Finally, we arrive at the culmination of our journey, a moment not of ending, but of profound recommitment. We have meticulously stripped away the deceptive guises of your internal adversary, the archetype of the drifter, revealing its insidious tactics. We have armed you with the blueprint for an extraordinary existence through the cultivation of your definite chief aim and the strategic power of the mastermind map. And we have shown you the disciplined, yet immensely rewarding path to unwavering inner strength through the vigilant cultivation of the garden of self-mastery. Defeating the devil, as I have illuminated, is never a singular grand battle. It is a conscious, deliberate choice you make each day, a continuous alignment with timeless, immutable principles. It is the unwavering decision to possess a purpose so clearly defined that it illuminates every step, to surround yourself with an alliance of minds that elevates your vision, and to exert absolute, sovereign control over the thoughts and emotions that govern your mental landscape. This is the very essence of true freedom. Ponder for a moment the profound implications of this truth. My exhaustive decades of research, my intimate conversations with the titans of industry and the architects of human achievement revealed one universal, undeniable constant. It is a fundamental truth, a cornerstone of all enduring success, that there is no such thing as defeat except that which is self-imposed. There is no such thing as failure except when one ceases to struggle. What does this truly mean for you, personally? It means that the obstacles you face, the setbacks you encounter, are never in and of themselves the ultimate arbiters of your destiny. They are merely circumstances, tests of your resolve. The true defeat, the genuine failure, manifests only in the moment you surrender the reins of your own will, when you allow the insidious whispers of the drifter to convince you that your efforts are futile, that your dreams are unattainable, and that cessation of struggle is the only viable path. The power, therefore, to fail or to triumph rests squarely and unequivocally within your own mental dominion. It is a staggering responsibility, yes, but also the greatest freedom imaginable. So at this pivotal juncture, I invite you, indeed, I challenge you, to make a profound and unwavering commitment. Let this be more than merely passively consumed information. Let it be a transformative act of personal declaration. I ask you to make a silent, yet deeply binding juramento da inevitabilidade to yourself, a sacred pact that will fortify your spirit against every future assault of doubt and fear. Close your eyes for a moment if you can, and with every fiber of your being, impress upon your subconscious mind these potent words. Let them resonate as an unbreakable vow. Today, I unequivocally declare that I am no longer a passive drifter, tossed aimlessly by the currents of circumstance. I affirm with absolute conviction that I am the undeniable master of my own destiny, the sole architect of my future. I stand as the vigilant guardian of my sacred purpose, committed to its unwavering pursuit. I solemnly swear here and now that I will never, under any guise, surrender to the insidious tactics of the devil, to any form of crippling doubt, to any paralyzing fear, or to any limiting belief. I will not grant them control over my precious mind, nor will I allow them to dictate my actions or diminish my potential. My will is sovereign, my purpose is absolute, and my resolve is unshakable. This declaration, when made with genuine intent and followed by consistent action, imbues your journey with an almost mystical quality of inevitability. When your purpose is clear, when your mastermind is aligned, and when your mental garden is meticulously cultivated, success ceases to be an elusive possibility and transforms into a predictable outcome. You become a magnet for the very opportunities and resources necessary for the realization of your definite chief aim. Now, if these profound truths have resonated within your very soul, if you are truly ready to confront and conquer your own internal devil, to definitively transcend the boundaries of mediocrity and rewrite the extraordinary narrative of your life, then let your conviction manifest through decisive action. Engage with this message. If it has sparked a profound realization, a renewed sense of purpose within you, then demonstrate that awakening by liking this video. Furthermore, if you know of another soul who battles these same unseen forces, someone who desperately needs to hear these empowering lessons, then extend the hand of fellowship and share this vital knowledge with them, thereby expanding the collective power of our master mind. Do not hesitate. Then I urge you, share your immediate, most profound insight. Comment below. What is the very first devil, that specific habit, that pervasive fear, that limiting belief that you are now unequivocally determined to face and defeat, utilizing the powerful weapons we have discussed today? Your public commitment strengthens your resolve. Finally, to ensure you remain steadfast on this path of continuous growth, To receive further illuminating insights into the profound principles of personal achievement, I implore you to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell. Your journey toward self-mastery is an ongoing one, and the subsequent lessons, the next stages of your empowerment, are already waiting for you.